name's Tom Huntington. I'm the co-founder of Windshield. Our mission is to make work great. I spent the last 6 months interviewing people of all ages, titles, sectors about what makes work great. And the answer is pretty consistent. What makes work great is not more money, more days off, or better snacks in the break room, nice as those things may be. What people consistently cite as the thing that makes work great is making a difference, which is great. We want to make a difference. Our employers want us to make a difference. Seems like a win-win. So why is it that most of us are super unenthused about our jobs? Gallup surveys 1 million people a year, and 70% describe themselves as unengaged at work. Well, we asked them, what drives you crazy at work? And it's no surprise what the answer is. Weekly, monthly reports that go up into the ether. You have no idea what the questions are about them or the conclusions drawn. So you try to attend every meeting just to stay in sync. While you're doing all this work to keep people informed and stay in sync, the world is passing you by. New initiatives are piling up faster than you can get them done. And we're just not making progress, despite best efforts. Work is broken. So why is it broken? Edward Deming, founder of Quality Management, points out that about 15% of organizational failures are due to workers. The other 85% is systemic problems. So what's the systemic problem here? It's the decision vortex. We work and we work, and management systems suck information up into the highest echelons of the company, where a handful of people try to make all the decisions. Now, I've worked for some great people, but they just can't do it. They make the few decisions that they can in any given day, and thousands of decisions get left unresolved. Well, a number of companies have figured this out. As Ed Catmull, co-founder of Pixar, points out, what's the point of hiring smart people if you don't empower them to fix what's broken? So that's what we do. We empower people to take action. Specifically, we make the information for good decisions available to everybody. What does that mean? What do you need to make a good decision? You need to know what the North Star is. What's the common goal that we should all be driving towards? Not just for my department, but for the company as a whole. What's everybody doing? I hear that a lot. I have no idea what's going on in this company. Are we all going in the right direction or not? And equally importantly, how are these things connected? If I speed up or slow down what I'm doing over here, who am I helping in a hurry? So this is what we do. We make this information available to everybody so that you can make good decisions. We have a dynamic mission map where I can see the things I'm working on. Things I'm working on right now: refine our written message so that we can create speaking opportunities, also obtain deep insights into users. But which of these is most important? Well, if I look at the planned activities, now I can start to see a better sense of a critical path. That in order to demonstrate product market fit, demonstrate high growth, and raise an A round, you really need to demonstrate, obtain deep insights into users. Well, how does that impact other people around me? I can see the missions that are connected to this, and I can see who's working on them. And this way, I can see how to make a difference. I can see what's critical path and what's not. I can see what's in flight right now and what's planned, and I can see who I help and I hurt as I adjust my plan. That's the way that I know I'm making a difference every day. Any questions? Yes?
Can you give an example of like this in action?
Yeah. So one of my objectives is to create speaking opportunities. And we've been accepted to speak at the July 21st BMT. I want to let people know that we did it. And so you can let's see.
Yeah, the connection's a little wonky.
We gotta still ironing out that response time, but you can see what people are working on. I'll tell you that the first thing that this really helped me with is when we created this, my missions really weren't connected. And said, all right, what's important and what's not? How should I be prioritizing my work? And then the default connection is, I don't know if you can see it with this contrast, but there's some dotted lines in here. These are helpful connections. You can't see them. When you if I change the contrast.
You see him now?
No. All right. Well, there's some dotted lines. And the default is you make a connection between your work and someone else's work, and the default is it's a nice to have or it's helpful. And everything I put my missions in, I connected them, and everything was a nice to have. Well, that's really the case. Anything I'm doing really critical. And the process of differentiating between what's really important to me that he's doing and what's really important to him that I'm doing versus a nice to have, very healthy process. It helped us figure out what the critical path is. Being able to separate the strategic stuff from the nice to have stuff is one immediate way to rationalize a list of stuff that we think we're supposed to be doing every day. Thanks. Other questions? Yeah.
What sort of tools do you have for educating a team to bring in the kind of education to use the tool? I see a lot of value, but the kind of barrier to entry is how do you use it?
The short answer is obtain deep insights into users is one of our launch missions. I spend most of my time when I'm not here talking to folks like you about how you use this so that we can build the best onboarding possible.
So you come to the company and actually help them on board?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So what is the optimal platform and size for a user or company to use this operating system?
Yeah, good question. When we started out, the question was, what's the optimal size company or organization for this? And we started out thinking that it was somewhere between 200 and several thousand. We've got organizations that are 8,000, 10,000 that certainly have this pain acutely. There's an anthropological notion of the limit of the tribe, which is around 100 to 200 people. At that point, you can no longer maintain personal connections to everybody in the organization. And informal methods just break down because the organization is too big. Having said that, I've gotten feedback from 30-person companies and 50-person companies that feel this pain. So really, everybody has the pain. Some people recognize it, and some people are taking measures to try to solve it. Yep. Ms. Senator?
Yeah. Me, right?
Yeah.
So in this map that you have, you were talking about a North Star earlier. Is there a North Star here? Or is there like one goal that everyone sort of aligns to?
Yeah, our North Star is to create a sense of shared purpose.
And who comes up with that goal?
Well, we're a two-person company, so we came up with it together. But traditionally, senior leadership would set the high-level objectives, and and then allow every level below them to figure out what the best way to accomplish those things are. So it's not that senior leadership doesn't have a role. They have their role, and everybody else has their piece to maintain.
Is this updated by hand, manually, whenever stuff gets done, or could this be tied into something like a Trello board or Asana or one of those project management tools?
Yes. Both. Up on the left.
I'm trying to understand what you're doing. Because the premise for me it's slightly horizontal misguided, okay? Because individuals, groups of individuals, teams, all the way to the executives of the corporation. Transparency is not everybody in the corporation, individually, wants transparency. And this assumes that there's full transparency and full information and knowledge of what everybody does and how they do it and how do we run their business.
If we set aside some edge cases like HR information, I would say companies that don't embrace transparency are headed for the dustbin of history.
But that's the reality. Corporations are not transparent.
The ones that are succeeding are.